Hi, everybody, and just like that, it is summer. So, yes, we are having some warmer weather here, and we are really enjoying moving from winter into spring. And it's been such a nice warm spring, we can actually say that it's basically summer here already. So, yes, we are still reading Proverbs. And we are in Proverbs 23 at the moment. The heading here is Wisdom Will Protect You. So let's get to reading. Verse 1. When you have been invited to dine with a very important leader, consider your manners and keep in mind who you are with. Be careful to curb your appetite and catch yourself before you fall into the trap of wanting all that you see. Don't crave their delicacies, for they may have another motive in having you sit at their table. Don't compare yourself to the rich. Surrender your selfish ambition and evaluate them properly. For no sooner do you start counting your wealth than it sprouts wings and flies away like an eagle in the sky. For it is here today and gone tomorrow. So I think basically what this little piece might mean, there's also a saying that says, don't count your chickens before they have hatched. And so it can also mean in the same way when you are suddenly invited to sit around the table with very important people. Don't get too overly excited and start putting your hope and your faith in people. Also, don't put your hope and your faith in wealth or any earthly riches, because it can be here today, gone tomorrow. So we know where we place our faith and our hope. We place it in God, and we place it in eternal value and eternal uh, uh, kingdom treasures. So I think this is just a good reminder of that. Be sensible when you dine with a stingy man, and don't eat more than what you should, for as he thinks within himself, so is he. He will grudgingly say, "Go ahead and eat anything that you want," but in his heart he resents the fact that he has to pay for your meal. So you will be sorry that you ate anything at all, and all your compliments will be wasted. So basically, just watch your manners when somebody invites you for dinner, especially if it's a restaurant or somewhere where they have to pay for your meal. Be aware and just be polite. Don't just don't go and eat whatever you want just because you think that they can afford this. This is not right. Just remember your manners. A rebellious fool will despise your wise advice, so don't even waste your time. Save your breath. Never move a long-standing boundary line or attempt to take land that belongs to the fatherless, for they have a mighty protector, a loving redeemer who watches over them, and he will stand up for their cause. So this is very powerful as well. God watches over the widows and the orphans. So do not take anything that belongs to them, because they do have a mighty protector and a loving redeemer that watches over them. So if you are an orphan or a widow, know that you do have a Father in heaven that stands up for your case and watches over you and that will protect you. Pay close attention to the teaching that corrects you, and open your heart to every word of instruction. Don't withhold appropriate discipline from your own child. Go ahead and discipline him when he needs it. Don't worry, it won't kill him. A good spanking could just be the very thing that teaches him a lifelong lesson. My beloved child, when your heart is full of wisdom, my heart is full of gladness. So God is saying here that his heart is full of gladness when he sees his children full of wisdom. And when you speak anointed words, we are speaking mouth to mouth. Don't allow the actions of evil men to cause you to burn with anger, but instead burn with unrelenting passion as you worship God in holy awe. So this is great advice for how do we deal with anger. We deal with anger by worshiping, and there's nothing like true, unrelenting, passionate worship, to really place our focus on God and just remove all the toxic and negative emotions from our heart. So next time when somebody does something that makes you really angry, rather than going and talking about it or thinking about it, or it says here, make your heart burn with anger, rather just go and place it at God's feet and worship Him, and you will feel this lifting off from you. So it says here, your future is bright. We are now in verse 18. Your future is bright and filled with a living hope that will never fade away. As you listen to me, my beloved child, you will grow in wisdom and your heart will be drawn into understanding. So as you listen to God, you will grow in wisdom and you will also be drawn into understanding. And it says here, this is very important, and this will empower you to make the right decisions. So how are we empowered to make the right decisions? By listening to God and by turning our hearts towards Him. Verse 20, do not live in the excesses of drunkenness or gluttony, or waste your life away by partying all the time, because drunkards and gluttons sleep their lives away, and they end up waking broke. Give respect to your father and your mother, for without them you wouldn't even have been here. And don't neglect them when they are old. Embrace the truth and hold it close. Don't let go of wisdom, instruction, and life-giving understanding. So again, it's not just wisdom and instruction, but it's actually understanding that we are after. And when you have a fuller understanding of the bigger picture, then this will give life to you as well. When a father observes his child living in godliness, he is ecstatic with joy, for nothing makes him prouder. That is very true. So may your father's heart burst with joy, and your mother's soul be filled with gladness because of you. My son, give me your heart and embrace fully what I am about to tell you. Stay far away from prostitutes, and you will stay far away from the pit of destruction. For sleeping with a promiscuous woman is just like falling into a trap that you will never be able to escape. Like a robber hiding in the shadows, she is waiting to claim another victim, another husband unfaithful to his wife. Who has anguish? Who has bitter sorrow? Who constantly complain and argue? Who stumbles and falls and hurt himself? Who is the one with the bloodshot eyes? This is the one who drinks too much, and he is always looking for a brew. Make sure that this is never you. And do not be drunk with wine, but be known as one who enjoys the company of the lovers of God. So whose company do we enjoy? We enjoy people who are God lovers, people who are passionate about Him, people who are true worshippers, people who enjoy spending time of His Word. These are the type of people that we like to hang around with, because they will rub off on us as well. And just as iron sharpens iron, we sharpen each other, and with good discernment and with good wisdom in your relationships and your friendships, they all draw you to become a better person at the end of the day, if you choose wisely. For drunkenness brings the sting of a serpent, like the fangs of a viper, spreading poison into your soul. It will make you hallucinate and mumble and speak words that are perverse. And that's very true. Have you ever seen a drunken person with the curses, the cursing and the anger and the pervertic things that starts coming out of their mouths? This is very true of drunkenness. You will be like a seasick sailor being tossed to and fro, dizzy and out of your mind. You will awake only to say, "What hit me?" And you will feel like you've been run over by a truck. And yet, look, off you will go looking for another drink. And I can maybe just end off here with when we look at the bigger picture of the book of Proverbs, you will see that there are two main characters in this book. The one is the wise person, and the other one is the fool. So there's a constant comparison as well between the wise person and the foolish person. So obviously here we are speaking about the foolish person again, and the one who is into drinking and drunkenness, and then the fruits that comes with that. And then you see the wise person, the one who chooses his friendships wisely. And it's also interesting that friendships are being mentioned here in the same light as drunkenness, because a lot of times drunkenness doesn't come alone. It's sadly so it does happen like that for some people, but a lot of times it is because of peer pressure, and that's a type of peer pressure that can be at all ages, where people are being led into drinking and drinking more than what they're supposed to, and then one thing leads to another thing, and before you know it, it's like they say, you are dizzy and you are out of your mind, you're not thinking straight, and that is not spirit-filled living, and that's not who we want to be. Okay, so we've reached the end of our time as well. We've reached the end of Proverbs 23, and I will continue to record the next one.